tuned. First News at 5 starts now.
This is ABC 17, where news comes first.
Columbia police are cracking down on people who drive too fast in school zones. Good evening, everyone. Complaints from residents and parents prompted Columbia police to begin special traffic enforcement on speeders in school zones. They do it 1 week out of every month. Recently at Field Elementary, officers made 36 traffic stops and issued 18 speeding tickets. School officials say they support the enforcement efforts and they hope they continue.
It's real difficult to see kids if they would happen to go between cars or use the crosswalk because we have to park on the street. So the speed's really essential that they keep it down. I just stand here, it just seems like cars are going by awful fast for it to be around the school.
Police say drivers are forewarned before any citations are issued.
Prior to the enforcement action, we set up a radar trailer so that it is visible and that people notice that there is a school zone there and they know that the speed limit is 20 miles per hour. And then we follow up with that the next week, enforcing the speed limit there.
Police say violators are usually traveling at least 15 miles per hour over the 20 mile per hour school speed zone limit.
Good afternoon. I'm Randy Wright in the Power Doppler 17 Storm Center. We still have some areas of shower activity across mid-Missouri. Let's first take you to our Power Doppler 17 WeatherNet sites, and we'll show you the rainfall that we have recorded at 5 of our 11 Power Doppler 17 WeatherNet locations. In Moberly at the 5 and Drive, about 1900ths of an inch of rain today. Columbia, 2300ths. Fulton on the campus of William Woods University at about 500ths of an inch. And in Jefferson City at the studios of the Zimmer Radio Group stations, roughly a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Now, our current conditions show 51 degrees in Columbia, 52 in Jeff City, Moberly at 49. Now, let's show you Power Doppler 17. You see a few areas of rain that continue just to the west of Jefferson City, right around Centertown. A nice little shower, and then just south and southwest of the capital city, just east of Eldon. We're looking at an area of actually some pretty heavy rainfall scattered here and there. Here's our first forecast tonight. It does call for a mostly cloudy sky. We'll find all this rain that's in the region right now exit over the next few hours. A dry overnight period, but the dry weather will not last, and the mild weather will not last as well. How about that? We'll have complete details coming up.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Okay. This week is Severe Weather Week, and today severe weather drills took place statewide. Normally, Columbia would sound the air raid sirens as part of the drill, but due to the rainy weather, the sirens weren't used. However, you may have noticed TV and radio stations testing their alert systems. In the event of a tornado, you should go to the lowest level of the building. The basement is the safest place. Stay away from windows and chimneys and cover your head. If you live in a mobile home, be sure to leave and seek shelter in a nearby permanent building or in a low spot like a ditch or a ravine. Rainy weather is responsible for flooding in Australia and may have caused 4 teenagers to drown. Heavy rains and rising water are forcing Daly River residents to evacuate their homes. 4 teens have been missing since Thursday. Officials believe they may have drowned walking to the next town. Australian troops are putting up tents for emergency housing and helping people to evacuate. A nephew of Robert Kennedy is being arraigned today in Connecticut on murder charges. 39-year-old Michael Skakel is charged with killing a teenage neighbor 25 years ago. Because he was only 15 at the time, Skakel is being tried as a juvenile.
The alleged statements from the former students at Elon. There's no physical evidence, there's no DNA, there's no smoking gun, there's no water pistol.
Skakel denies beating his neighbor Martha Moxley with a golf club. He and his brother were both suspects in the original investigation in 1975. On the campaign trail today, it's a mini Super Tuesday. 6 southern states are holding Democratic and Republican presidential primaries. Among them, Vice President Al Gore's home state of Tennessee and Governor George W. Bush's home state of Texas. Also holding primaries, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Oklahoma. In Houston, Texas, former President George Bush and his wife Barbara were among those casting ballots this morning. Their son, George W., could wrap up the Republican nomination if he takes all of the 341 delegates available in today's primaries. Bush is spending the day in Texas. Gore could also clinch the Democratic nomination by winning just less than half of today's available delegates. He's spending the day in Tennessee and Florida. The major oil-producing nations are meeting at the end of this month, and they're expected to bow under pressure and increase production. If they do, you could see lower gas prices a month later. That's according to U.S. Energy Secretary Bill Richardson.
A lot depends on what OPEC does. We are intensively working with OPEC to get high increases in production. Our efforts so far have been successful.
Meanwhile, soaring oil prices are forcing some truckers to park their rigs, but many are driving their concerns to the nation's capital. 5 convoys of trucks are heading to Washington to demand a trucker's Bill of Rights that would allow higher freight charges to offset the fuel costs. About 1,000 semi-trucks are expected to converge on Washington Thursday. The most common knee injury among athletes affects their ACL, or anterior cruciate ligament. In tonight's Medical Solutions, a new procedure is getting patients back on their feet sooner than with traditional surgery. Each step, each pound is an amazing feat for Ken Simmerly. 4 months ago, he had surgery on both knees.
The way I feel right now, I feel better than I used to.
Dr. David Cullen at Henry Ford Hospital performed the new procedure. Since Ken tore his anterior cruciate ligament, or ACL, Dr. Cullen took part of the tendon from Ken's good knee to repair his bad knee.
With the 2 legs being done this way, you can rehab each leg specifically for what its problem is and get a faster recovery.
Typically, for an ACL injury, doctors perform surgery on only one knee. Recovery time can be between 7 and 9 months, but surgery on both knees, along with rehabilitation, cuts recovery 2 to 3 months.
They've got to be ready to do a lot of work.
Dr. Cullen believes ligaments heal faster when you exercise them, so Ken began just 1 hour after surgery.
I was continually exercising 12 hours a day. It took about 30 or 40 minutes to go through my whole exercise process. I took a 20-minute break, and then I have to start right over again.
Ken admits it was tough and at times painful.
I think I have a pretty high tolerance for pain. But let me tell you something. It hurt.
But the pain paid off. Ken is back pounding the pavement without his knees pounding with pain. 100,000 people every year suffer from an ACL injury. The FBI is marking the 50th anniversary of its 10 most wanted list today. Former Director J. Edgar Hoover started the list after some journalists asked for a list of the most wanted suspects. Today, the FBI says the list is a fascination because it allows the public to participate in law enforcement. The first lists were populated by bank robbers and thieves. Now it has serial killers, terrorists, and international drug dealers. If you have teenagers, you might have already started looking at the cost of college. Coming up, we'll have some tips on how you can start saving up for tuition. And see what's cooking in tonight's Woodman's Way.
You're watching ABC 17, KMIZ-TV, Columbia, Jefferson City. This is ABC 17 First News at 5.
I want every
Village Market on Nifong. Register at any Knowles. Watch ABC 17 News at 5, 6, and 10 beginning April 29th to see if you qualify.
Now, with your Power Doppler 17 forecast, here's ABC 17's Randy Wright.
Well, a somewhat dreary day today, but we took the Columbia Photo Digital Sharpshooter Cam out onto the campus of the University of Missouri. If you had an umbrella or slicker, you were in pretty good shape. We had some scattered shower activity that amounted to roughly 1/4 of an inch officially at our Columbia WeatherNet site, and that was one of the higher amounts in terms of rainfall. Temperatures over the next few hours will be holding steady, upper 40s to low 50s. A few spotty showers remain, south wind at 5 to 10. Let's show you the actual live weather conditions at 51 in Columbia, 52 degrees in Jeff City. Our humidity is high in the 80 to 90% range, with the wind out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. There's that rainfall total. Columbia, 0.03 of an inch. Jeff City at just about 1/10 of an inch, and our current barometer stands at 29.92. Now, our forecast does call for a few scattered showers to continue through the evening time hours. Today's official high at our Columbia WeatherNet site did top out at 52. That's right where we should be for the middle of March. 38 our morning time low. And then again at the airport, 0.03 of an inch of rain. That takes the monthly total to a bit over 1/2 inch, and our yearly total now stands at 4.71. So as far as the year, again, the calendar year from January 1 to where we are right now, we're actually about 1/5 of an inch above normal in terms of precipitation. Here's our updated allergy count today. Mold considered low at a reading of 500. Tree count considered high at a reading of 240. Across the state, skies actually range from partly cloudy across portions of central in western Missouri to cloudy skies with rain continuing scattered in nature around the St. Louis metro area. 57 degrees in St. Louis right now. Warmest reading we can find, 63 at the Cape. Coolest reading we can find, the 45 degrees you see up Highway 63 in the Kirksville area. Well, let's give you another look at Power Doppler 17. We've taken things in just a little bit. This is a 50-mile scan of our atmosphere. You see a little light shower activity just to the south and east of Fulton, also south along Highway 54 into the Jefferson City area. In fact, all around the capital city, we continue to track areas of primarily light to moderate rain at this hour. Certainly nothing severe. All this rain continues to track to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Cloud cover rather thick across most of the state of Missouri, but you can see northwestern and western portions of the state and into Kansas seeing some sunshine late this afternoon. Rain is all but over. Now, we've got a few, again, scattered areas of some light to moderate rain that continue across central portions of Missouri. The more substantial rain continues off to our east and to the northeast. Now, for the day tomorrow, little frontal system moves into the region. As it does so, it'll bring an opportunity for rain. Stands at about 50% for the day tomorrow across much of the Midwestern United States. Temperatures, however, will be quite mild, well into the 60s across mid-Missouri. A variable cloud cover tonight after some scattered evening shower activity, down to 45 for our low. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 50% chance for rain, maybe a stray thunderstorm or two, and our high temperature right around 65. Southwest wind, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rain likely tomorrow night. Will drop back to around 36 for the overnight low, and then look at the cold air filtering in. On Thursday, the high at only 40, and early on Thursday, there's a chance for a little rain-snow mixture as that cold front moves through, that colder air comes in, maybe a little bit of the white stuff early on Thursday. Friday, chilly with sunshine at around 44. So 65 tomorrow, 40 on Thursday. We're not quite out of the woods just yet.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Okay. Well, how often do you see a dead possum or maybe a raccoon laying along the side of the road? Next, Ron Woodbin takes us to a place where cooking up roadkill has become a tradition.